Hi, Ferris Jean here. Me? I want to talk to you a little bit about 'tis the season. 'Tis the season for seasonal affective disorder. I'm one of many people who suffer with it. And it's funny because I didn't even realize I had it for the longest time. I for years had been teaching people how to recognize depression and how to help a friend. And one year, after many years of doing this, my husband says to me, "You're depressed." I said, "No, I'm not. I think I know what depression is. I'm teaching it all the time." But then he started to list off all the things that he'd noticed about me. I was tired all the time. I was increased cravings for sweets and complex carbs, irritable, weepy, no interest in either participating in anything social or making excuses not to socialize. I'd rather sleep or watch TV than do anything productive or physical, any kind of activities. Yeah, pretty much opposite of my normal. Now, he was right. It turns out I had seasonal affective disorder. And I was the last one to know it, which really makes a point. Sometimes the people who are experiencing depression, for example, are the last one to realize that they actually don't realize that they have a problem. It kind of sneaks up on you, and pretty soon it's your new normal. And you don't even realize it's the people around you that are seeing the changes in you and have the concern. So I was really fortunate to hear what he had to say and take some action. I followed my own advice. I started to apply the things that I usually tell others to do to myself so that I could start feeling better. Remember that depression is different for everybody. It's as unique and individual as the person is. There's some similarities, of course, but it can be very unique for each person. And so can the treatment for it, how you manage it. I have to really emphasize that there is no one thing that you can do. There is no quick fix to this. Remember that it took a lot of variables in your life and a lot of time to get to where you are now. So it's going to take a lot of combinations of different things and time to get to a healthier place. So you have to be patient with that, and also trial and error. And when you're already exhausted, that's exhausting. And this is why it's so important to have people in your life, supportive people in your life, healthy, supportive people to point you in the right direction and to be your advocate and to hold you up and encourage you to keep going, and recognizing when you've had enough and need to rest for a little bit, and then pick you up and dust you off and get you going again. So I'm going to share with you what I do, okay? What I do, and some of these things maybe will be able to help you or give you some ideas as to what you can do to help yourself, okay? So one of them is, and one of the most important ones for me, is sunshine. And right now it's getting later in the day and the sun is starting to lower down in the sky, but I'm out here trying to soak up any kind of rays of sun that I can. I love the sun. It boosts me, it energizes me, it makes me happy. And I try to get as much sun as I can So, and if possible, at least 10 minutes worth right on my skin if I can, so I can absorb all its goodness that it gives me. Of course, people associate vitamin D with the sun, and yes, that is a huge source of it. But oftentimes we can't quite get enough, especially in the northern hemisphere, like I am. It can be difficult to get enough of the sun, to store up enough vitamin D to help you keep your bones strong and help you keep your mental health going strong as well. So oftentimes supplements are required. You have to realize that vitamins can be either water soluble or fat soluble, and what that means is, like, if you take too much vitamin C, you're just going to pee out any excess because it's water soluble. So you can't really overdose on vitamin C, but not the same as you can with vitamin D, because that's a fat soluble vitamin, and so you can build it up and store it in your system. If you get too much of it, it can cause some issues. It can cause some harmful issues. So, it's something that should be monitored. The recommended dose is 1,000 units a day, and you're safe taking that. But if you need more, how do you know? If you take more, how do you know if it's hurting or helping? So that can be tricky. Now, I'm fortunate because I have a doctor who tested me for my vitamin D levels, and he was able to do that because I also have some bone thinning in my spine, and vitamin D is going to help strengthen that. So he monitored, and according to him and according to how my body feels, over the last several years, I've been taking 13,000 units of liquid drops of vitamin D a day, and that seems to be what my body requires. But that's just for me. Okay, it's important that if you're going to take more than the recommended dose, that should be done so by, having some monitoring by a medical health professional. Now, I have also realized that conventional medicine doesn't have all the answers. So what I like to call it is cooperative medicine. You can take the best from your physician, who may or may not have enough knowledge and skill and experience about mental health to help you, and a naturopath or any number of other people and other places where you can get information on what kinds of things you can do to increase your health and your overall health. It is really important to do is open your mind and try all kinds of different things, and then you'll go, yeah, that doesn't work for me, and wow, this was unexpected. I really feel a lot better when I'm doing this. Now remember that if you're taking anything like vitamins, minerals, herbs, that kind of thing, that it's going to take time before you notice. It's not like you take a pill and you feel immediately better. It's going to take time. But there are certain things that can make you feel good almost immediately. One of those things is acts of kindness. And this is one of the things that really helps me because it boosts me immediately. It gives me energy and happiness, and I'm able to do all kinds of things looking for the next act of kindness. It doesn't have to be it doesn't take a lot of time to do. It doesn't take money to do. It doesn't take a lot of energy to do. These simple little acts of kindness, you can do them anytime, anywhere, and you get an immediate rush of energy and happiness. And So that's one of the many things that I do to look after myself as well. I also, in October, I know that seasonal affective disorders start going to creeping up on me, and I need to nip it in the bud. So this is when I really start, is the beginning of October, to get back into a really good, healthy workout regime. It's not a huge thing. It's something I can do at home. And it doesn't take me a lot of time to do, but it's getting into a routine of doing some little physical thing that will, because physical activity is powerful for our mental health. And so I start getting into that regime again. I get some 5-HTP. That's one of the supplements that I take, and that seems to really help me. I usually take that in the evening or just before bed, and that's what helps me. I have my physician monitor my hormone levels. When your hormones are out of balance, boy, that can really mess you up. So I make sure those are running smoothly. And I try to take about 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day, if possible. And if I can do that outside, like I'm doing right now, that makes it way better. Interacting with nature and getting that fresh air and that sunshine. Healthy eating, that can be a real challenge for a lot of people. Just remember, the more natural it is, the healthier it is. So the more processed something it is, the fewer nutrients there may be in it. And that's one way that you can kind of think about how am I eating and how do I eat healthy. So that's always a challenge, but it's something that's important to do. And drinking a lot of water. For me, drinking water, it should be easy, but drinking cold water for me it's tough to get enough in. I drink a lot of hot water. Instead of putting a tea bag in, or I haven't drank coffee for like 30 years, but that's another story altogether. But just drinking the hot water, and then I'm getting enough water in my day. So that's part of it. And sleep, man, that's another challenge. It's so easy to stay up all night on social media or watching movies before you realize, oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, it's not healthy. So getting a regular bedtime routine and going to bed at a decent time, getting up nice and early and feeling refreshed. And maybe in another video, we'll talk more about tips on how to get a good night's sleep. One of the most important things I found for me is a hobby, something to do just for you, not for anybody else, just you, that makes you feel happy. And that is a vital component to your mental health. Now, you have to realize that it could be something that you already do. It could be something that you've always wanted to do. It could be learning something new. But find what makes you happy and commit to that. For me, it was musical theater. I found musical theater in a local theater group. I did a musical one winter and I didn't even notice my seasonal affective disorder. It was like it wasn't there, and I thought, well, maybe I was misdiagnosed. But no, the next year I didn't go into a musical, and wow, did I feel it. So that's my huge medicine, is musical theater. That's my where my heart goes and what makes me happy. So all these things and more have helped me and continue to help me and weather the storm of that seasonal affective disorder. And I sure hope some of them will help you manage your winter blues or give you some ideas that will help. So thanks for walking with me, and I'm going to talk to you soon. Take good care.